Michael Jordan is widely considered the greatest basketball player of all time. But what if I told you that there's one particular truth about MJ's career that many fans and analysts conveniently ignore? What if I told you that during the 1980s, the same era that produced Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it wasn't Michael Jordan who beat them to reach the mountaintop. It was Isiah Thomas. Today, we're unpacking one of the most overlooked and uncomfortable truths in NBA history. This is a story about legacy, bias, and a cold, hard reminder from a champion who refuses to be erased from the history books.
So Michael Jordan in the 80s, right? He never won.
If you've ever watched ESPN's First Take, you know that debating Michael Jordan's legacy with Stephen A. Smith is like walking into a hurricane with a paper umbrella. The man doesn't waver. He'll bring up the 6 rings, the 5 MVPs, and the scoring titles, all of it, and steamroll any opposition. But then came Isiah Thomas. In a rare televised moment, Isiah Thomas put Stephen A. Smith in check. Calm, measured, and factual. Isiah looked him dead in the eye and said, Michael Jordan in the 80s, he never won.
So Michael Jordan in the 80s, right? He never won. And he never beat Larry Bird. He never beat Magic and Kareem. I'm going to say that again. He never beat Magic and Kareem. Now, truth be told, I beat Magic and Kareem, and I beat Larry Bird and his Celtics. Michael Jordan never beat those teams.
Now, his comments weren't disrespectful, it wasn't hyperbole, it was the truth, and a cold one at that. Let's rewind for context. The 1980s NBA belonged to 2 dynasties, the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish terrorized the East. Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and James Worthy dazzled the West. In the middle of all that chaos, the Detroit Pistons built something brutal, brilliant, and beautiful in its own way, the Bad Boy Pistons. In 1988, the Pistons broke through. They eliminated the Celtics in 6 games. Bird, McHale, Parrish, Dennis Johnson, they were all still playing at a high level. But Detroit had found the formula: ferocious defense, relentless intensity, and a chip on their shoulder. They fell just short in the NBA Finals that year, losing to the Lakers in a tough 7-game series. But Isiah and the Pistons came back hungrier. In 1989, they swept the Celtics in round 1. They stormed through the East. Then, in the finals, they dismantled the Lakers. The same Lakers with Magic, Worthy, and Kareem in a 4-0 sweep. Back-to-back finals appearances, back-to-back finals against dynasties, and they won. Jordan, in the same decade, he got swept out of the playoffs by Bird's Celtics twice. Now, let me be clear, no one's disputing Michael Jordan's greatness. 6 championships, his absolute dominance from 1991 to 1998, it's unmatched. But the idea that Jordan was flawless in the playoffs, well, that's a myth. In the 1980s, Jordan made the playoffs his first few seasons and lost in the first round 3 straight times. In fact, in 1986, the Bulls were swept by the Celtics. That's the same Celtics Isiah beat. In 1987, swept again. These early playoff exits don't fit the clean narrative we've created around MJ. But they happened. Meanwhile, Isiah was going toe-to-toe with both dynasties and winning. Jordan didn't even beat Bird in the playoffs. Ever. And when he finally got past the Lakers in 1991, Kareem was already retired. Magic was on his last legs, literally and figuratively. So why don't people give Isiah Thomas the credit he deserves? Well, it's complicated. For starters, Isiah and the Pistons never played a beautiful brand of basketball. It was physical, dirty at times, and unapologetically aggressive. That style alienated fans and peers. Secondly, Isiah's feud with Jordan became personal. We all know about the Dream Team snub in 1992. Despite being arguably the best point guard in the NBA not named Magic, Isiah was left off the roster. Many believe it was because Jordan refused to play with him, and you can find a full video to that controversy right here. And third, let's be real, Jordan's success came with better branding. The sneakers, the commercials, the hero's journey. Isiah's didn't have that. But make no mistake, when it comes to accomplishments, Zeke did what Jordan couldn't, and he said it straight to Stephen A's face. There's this myth around casual NBA fans that no one ate during Jordan's era. Well, that's just not true. The Pistons won back-to-back in 89 and 90. Hakeem Olajuwon won 2 titles in 94 and 95, even if Jordan was away. The Lakers were still a threat in the early 90s. And yes, before MJ's first ring, the Celtics and the Lakers had already carved out nearly a decade of dominance. What makes Jordan's 6 championships incredible is not that he won every year. It's that once he figured it out, no one could stop him. But again, the key word is once. Before that, there were losses, sweeps, struggles. Isiah didn't just survive that period, he conquered it in comparison. We often treat legacy like it's set in stone, like one player's success erases another story. But the truth is more layered. Isiah Thomas isn't trying to say he was better than Michael Jordan. He's not claiming GOAT status. What he is saying, and what we should acknowledge, is that he accomplished something MJ didn't. He beat both dynasties of his era. He did it without a scoring title. He did it without Nike commercials. He did it with grit, heart, and leadership that's too often overshadowed. And that feud between Isiah and MJ, it's not going away anytime soon. Not now, not ever. Because it was never just about basketball. It was about respect. And until that respect is given, Isiah Thomas will keep reminding the world, I beat Magic, I beat Bird, Michael didn't. And maybe, just maybe, he has a point. But let me know what you think in the comments. Does Isiah deserve more credit than he gets? Did MJ's legacy overshadow a more complex truth? And make sure you like, subscribe, and share if you love deep dives into NBA history. I'm Damian Peters, this is Basketball Network, and we'll see you in the next one.